Okay, everybody, welcome back to the finals of the Virginia State Championship. This is game 2. In the first game, we saw Curran Hill did take the first one over Michael Pramawat, and now we'll see if Michael can make the comeback against the big bad bull Terrakion using his Zekrom Electric deck. Now, you might be wondering, first of all, how does this Terrakion deck even work? And second of all, how in the world does a Zekrom Electric deck begin to deal with a deck with just 4 Terrakions? Now, the answer to the first question, how does this deck work, is that using EXP Share, it pretty much just does 90 damage every turn, starting from turn 3. And even against Tynamos, like in this matchup, you can start using Retaliate to get cheap prizes starting turn 2. So pretty much you're just going to have a relentless onslaught of Retaliate and Land Crush starting from turn 2 or 3, and you just kind of keep up the pressure the whole game, and you use this big 130 hit point Pokemon, and you never look back. So the key for Michael's going to have to be, and looks like somebody wants to read that Terrakion, so Curran slides his active Pokemon away from the field. Okay, now it's back. The way Michael's going to have to deal with this is to put on some early pressure and really try to knock out the Terrakions before they get going. He does have a few Pokemon that can withstand a few hits. The first one would be Tornadus, which of course resists fighting. Everything else in his deck is weak to fighting except for Mewtwo EX, which will get knocked out in 2 hits by Retaliate or Land Crush when they're doing 90. And, well, Tyrogue, I guess, technically isn't weak to fighting, but he only has 30 hit points, so that doesn't really matter. So really, he could get a quick Mewtwo, which he tried last game that didn't work too well, or a quick Tornadus, which could work. Also, Zekrom is not too bad against Terrakion once you get Electrics into play. With a Bolt Strike and a Plus Power, you can knock out a Terrakion in 1 hit. And really the key to beating this deck is leaving the Terrakion deck without an energy in play. If you can knock out the Terrakion with all the energy in play, and then they don't have an EXP Share in play, you're going to win that game almost every time. So that's going to have to be the key for Michael to try to win this game. You have to try to hit hard, hit early, and catch Curran when he doesn't have an EXP Share, because that's going to be the difference maker. The Terrakion deck really just runs on that EXP Share. It relies on it to power up your next Terrakion so you can keep doing that 90 damage every single turn. If Michael can get a turn where he catches Curran without any energy at all, he's probably going to win. And that's really the key to the matchup. Can Curran keep drawing into all of his resources, or will he putter out eventually and allow Michael to win? We're going to have to see. So, looks like Curran has a Lost Remover in his hand, which is going to be a big pain if he decides to use it here. And he does. So, that's going to remove that double colorless and really set Michael back. That's going to prevent him from having any sort of early aggression here. Unless he had like a perfect hand where he just dropped 2 Electrics this turn and a switch and went to town. That would be the only real way for him to capitalize in this situation. But, I mean, if he did have a switch, that would be a big bonus. He would be able to put Curran in that situation that I was just talking about if Curran were not able to draw an EXP Share anytime soon. So, we do see a Junk Arm here, going for a Dual Ball, looks like. And, yep, looks like he's going for Dual Ball. And it looks like a Tails and a Heads, so he'll get 1 Pokemon here. Not sure what he's going to get. Looks like Mewtwo. Alright, so he has abandoned the Zekrom path and just said, you know what? This card's worth 50 bucks. It's got to be good for something. And he's just going to try to power that up, it looks like. So, let's see. Puts on a double colorless, there's a Plus Power, and a Juniper, so he is going for it all right here. He is trying to get a switch and an Electric And if he's able to do that, maybe he can get somewhere here. Or, oof, wow. 2 electrics. This is perfect if he has a switch. And if I were Curran, oh wow, he has a switch as well. If I were Curran, I would not be too happy right now, seeing all that. We're going to see an X-Ball for 100 damage, and this Terrakian's going to be knocked out. And this is just a situation where, really, if you're the Terrakian deck, you have to get lucky at this point to come back from such a huge deficit. You have no energy in play, you're staring down a Mewtwo with a ton of energy on it, and really there's just nothing you can do about it. So he's going to Juniper, and really he just has to draw Terrakian even to stay alive at this point. He does get a revive, and looks like he got an EXP share as well, but this Mewtwo is going to take out 2, maybe 3 Terrakians before it goes down. And there's really no way around it unless, you know, Michael just doesn't have anything left in his hand, and Curran disrupts him with cards like Lost Remover or Catcher. So it looks like Speak of the Devil is going to Lost Remover that double colorless. At any rate, this Mewtwo is going to do a lot of damage. There are situations where the Zekrom Electric deck can just have an explosive start and just pull this off. It's not too common, but looks like we got it here from Michael in the second game of the finals. You know, he's got the definite advantage at this point. He's taken the first prize. He's going to take the second prize as well. He might even take the third prize, all before Curran actually gets to take a prize. He will take 2 when he finally does, but looking really, really good right now. He also has 2 electrics into play already, so he's going to have a bunch of energy acceleration. And really, I can't see Michael losing unless he really just does not draw well for the rest of the game. You know, he can probably knock out a Terrakian with this Mewtwo here. Probably knock out the next one with Mewtwo as well. And I mean, take a look at Curran's hand. He's only got, what, a Revive and a Fighting Energy? So yeah, I would say Michael has a definite advantage. Curran's going to have to top deck to get out of this, and Michael's just going to have to keep doing what he's doing. So I would favor the guy who just has to keep doing what he's doing in that spot. I don't know if he got an energy or not this turn. I don't know how much of a difference it'll make, but if he had an energy this turn, his X-Ball would get stronger, and looks like he does have another Lightning, so that's good. And he's going to be able to X-Ball for 80. And what it's going to do is power up X-Ball for the future. So that when the next Terrakian comes out and uses Retaliate for 90, it'll have 2 energy on it. And then maybe Michael can just drop a double colorless and just knock it out straight away. Now this is the spot I was really worried about for Curran. He doesn't have much energy in play. He did 0 the previous turn. He's going to do 30 this turn. And really he's going to have to top deck to get anywhere here. Plays the heavy ball to get another Terrakian out of his deck just so he doesn't draw a Terrakian next turn. I think he's going to retaliate for 30 here. I don't know what else he would do. He might even just pass. You know, no need to retaliate for 30. He's going to save that fighting for the Terrakian with the EXP share. He's actually just going to attach it there. And he's going to pass. So, really nothing going for Curran and everything going for Michael. I mean, with Curran's poor hand, I wouldn't even be surprised to see this Mewtwo sweep all of the Terrakians and win the game. That's just the power of Mewtwo when you can get it with so many energy. But it looks like Michael does not have an energy to attach to the Mewtwo. So we're just going to see an X-Ball for a knockout. And did Curran top deck anything? Doesn't look like he's too excited about it. Really needs to top deck a supporter. Really needed it this turn. At the very least, an EXP share, because his Terrakian getting knocked out is a definite reality. Michael just has a double colorless. That's all she wrote. That Terrakian's done for, and Curran's pretty much done for at that point. So he does have a Catcher in his hand. He could pull some shenanigans, maybe try to stall for time. If he catches out an Electric, maybe just wait to draw some stuff. Otherwise he's going to have to retaliate for 90, and that's what he decides to do. So now we'll see, does Michael have that double colorless? He could also have a lightning and a plus power, but he does have the double colorless energy. That means there's 7 combined between Terrakion and Mewtwo, meaning X-Ball does 140. And okay, there's that EXP share a little late. Still no supporter for Curran. And he actually just says, alright, you win. So he's going to scoop up his cards. Michael wins a quick game 2 with one of the best starts I've ever seen. Mewtwo just coming out of nowhere and saying, X-Ball, in your face, 100 damage. I believe that was turn 2? I don't even know. It was ridiculous, whatever it was. So, that is one way to beat the Terrakion deck. And we'll see if Michael can pull that off again in Game 3. This will decide who wins the Virginia State Championship, and we'll be right back.